better off than being a U.S. Senator. 2 Carvel stands she should have run in her life, Barbara Boxer. The most in my day a woman like Barbara Boxer ever would have had was a chain of Carvel stands. 2 tops. 2. A senator for all these years. An anti-American, anti-military, anti-police senator. I can't believe it. So maybe we've seen a turning point, but we don't know it. We're too close to it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we've seen the turning point, but we don't know it. So I have no further comments to make, Your Honor. But I would like to say in my closing argument that we are living in strange times. When we can have a man without any experience whatsoever, with no known background whatsoever, be foisted upon us as president, Your Honor, and show one incompetence after another, Your Honor, and continue to get away with it, Your Honor. It's incomprehensible that a nation of educated morons would not see what's going on right in front of their eyes. Even the fable, The King Has No Clothes, which was written in about 1815, talked about Obama. The Obama of his time was probably the king of his country. So history is repeating itself. You know, women rule over them and a babe is their master. It was written about in the Bible. And the people sit here and they say, oh, no, it's not true. He's perfectly competent. The Congress is austere gentlemen and ladies. They're out for the interest of America. Blowing money like they own it. Today, Obama signs a check, $400 million to the Palestinians. You hear this? Where did he get the money from? Who gave him the authority to write that check? Was it debated in Congress? Were the American taxpayers who paid that money asked if they want $400 million to go to the Palestinians? I didn't see the debate. I must have missed it. I must have missed it while I was sleeping last night. Am I living in a democracy? I ask myself every morning. I wake up every morning, I feel I got to wash myself with brown soap every time I hear a politician speak. I feel like getting hives when I hear them speak. When I hear Obama speak, I feel like I got to take a hot shower. I can't believe he gets away with it. This is the greatest fraud in the history of the world. It's worse than Rothstein fixing the 1919 World Series. It's unbelievable. They fixed an election. They put this guy in, and I wouldn't mind if they put a guy in who could run the show. He can't run the show. All the environmentalists, Your Honor, all of the great Democrat environmentalists who never go out in the wilderness, all of the great environmentalists from the Upper East Side of Manhattan who are afraid of getting poison ivy if they go in the woods, who wouldn't know how to hunt the turkey, but they're great environmentalists. They're all environmentalists. We're sitting here with the greatest environmental disaster in history, and they have nothing to say about Obama being incompetent, that he wouldn't lend the Navy, he wouldn't lend the Army, he wouldn't let the Corps of Engineers, wouldn't let them build sand berms, wouldn't give them permits. And they say, no, he's doing nothing wrong. He's still studying it. Because that's how they did it when he was at Harvard. They studied everything. They studied it. They had meetings, and they had pizza parties and beer blasts, and they still couldn't figure out how to tie a shoe. And then they got the chairman of the Harvard Law Review. They became the editor of the Harvard Law Review. That made them bigger than Einstein because they gave him the job. Suddenly he's smarter than Felix Frankfurter because he edited the Harvard Law Review. So, Your Honor, we're living in strange times when a totally incompetent president, a totally incompetent administration is running America off the rails on a daily basis, and nothing happens to change it. They don't even awaken to what they're doing. You know, there was a book called Eyeless in Gaza, which was very interesting, Your Honor. It was written by Aldous Huxley many decades ago, Eyeless in Gaza, and it had biblical references to, although it was a popular novel, Eyeless in Gaza. And I ask myself, are we eyeless in Gaza today? Have we become blind? Do we not see what's going on? Where evil is called good and good is called evil? Where our own nation, the shining light of the world, is put down by our own president who goes on an apology tour around the world and says, I'm sorry for America's actions. What the hell was he sorry about? He was sorry because we stood up to the medieval troglodytes who would drag us back to the 9th century? He was sorry because the people who would cut your head off would cut your head off? That's what he's sorry for? Where did he get the idea that we're not loved around the world? When the hell did that ever matter? Did you ever care what the Arab street thought of you until Obama came along? When did you ever hear a reference to the words Arab street before? As though that was somehow the zenith of civilization, the Arab street. Have you ever seen how Arabs in the Middle East treat their wives and children? Have you ever been to the Middle East and seen how they treat their sons and their daughters? Have any of you ever been there? All of you geniuses, all of you Democrat college degree people, Do you have any idea what world you are living in? You're living in a world where they would cut your throat, strip you naked, steal your wife from you, and put your children into slavery unless you had a U.S. military to protect you. But you spend your time hating the U.S. military. You spend your time worrying about what they did to the medieval troglodytes at Guantanamo. They didn't treat them properly. Can you believe it? Eyeless in Gaza was nothing compared to what we're living through in the United States of America, Your Honor. I've never seen anything like it. Are they all blind? Are they all deaf and dumb? Do they have any idea what's going on? We know that in the Holocaust, 6 million Jews went to their deaths. Most of them went without firing, without screaming, without yelling, without trying to kill a German. Not all. Some fought. Some fought. Some went underground. Some went into the woods. They're my heroes, Your Honor. But most went like sheep to the slaughter. They didn't leap at the guy, take a gun, and shoot him in the head. I was told by somebody when I was young that when it started, it didn't start that way. It started with the Gestapo coming to the houses quietly and knocking on the doors. And that the people went along quietly because the Germans wanted order. They wanted order in their society, and they didn't want the German neighbors to be upset by what was going on. And the Jews complied. They went along quietly. But I was told that had they not gone along quietly, had they pulled out a gun and shot the Gestapo officers in the face, and if enough of them had done it, in the beginning there would have been no Holocaust. That's what I was told when I was young. And something in me, I don't know, maybe the message was correct, but it did something to me. It did something to me. I don't know how the people in America could be so stupid as to not see that they are like the sheep being lined up to being put in a stockade in this country. I don't mean a stockade with a concentration camp. Don't travel to the extremes of your own paranoia. I mean the stockade that the government is putting you in as a piece of earner. You're just an earner for them. A slave, in other words. They laugh at you every night as they spend your money. Barney Frank goes before young Democrats the other day and says, "Oh, we would like to help you even more. Give us more power. Tell them to give us more power. We need more power. We need more power." Can you believe what you're living through? Can you believe? Can you fathom what you are living through? Give the people more power who have bankrupted the United States of America, who have defaced the United States of America, who have weakened the United States of America, who have weakened our allies, who have weakened the military, who have weakened our laws. Give them more power? This band of incompetent left-wing gangsters, give them more power? So, Your Honor, in conclusion, in summary, I would like to say that no, we are not all eyeless in Gaza. Your Honor, some of us can see quite clearly what is coming, and we're quite prepared. And I rest my case.
Savage. Do-bop-si-do, boom-ba-boom-boom-boom. Do-bop-si-do, boom-ba-boom-boom-boom.
I'll always want you because my heart is true. Come